Hi there, Joel here. In this video I'd like to look at one of my projects for Radical Realm, which is called Aviator Pt.1. And this is one of my musical experiments where I really explored a lot of different aircraft sounds, especially these two sounds which I'd like to look at. So the first part of this video is going to look at the turbulent exhaust sound, which is like a very strong, unpredictable whooshing sound, which you often hear at airports approaching aeroplanes and also aeroplanes that are flying overhead. And I'll just play this section of the track here. So I had this bounced down and filtered out with a low pass filter to give the impression of flying into the distance. But we'll look at the original effects chain, which didn't have a filter on it, and I'll show you how it got all this movement. It originated from a pink noise oscillator. Which is going directly into an auxiliary, which then had the following effects inserts on this track. Just to give the feeling of a lot of progression and dynamic, I did use a lot of automation, as you can see. Now let's run through the inserts. So I did use a auto filter, which is just modulating the cutoff frequency on the low pass filter. Just a shallow 6 dB slope there. Very slow modulation. It's only 0.28 Hertz, so it's very slow. Along with the random LFO shape. Of particular mention is the ensemble plugin, which is a chorus effect that has multiple LFOs. So I've used a lot of automation on that, give some variation. So here's the, you've got these 3 LFOs, you've got these 2 voices. And you've got these 2 LFOs that are modulating at a very slow rate, but you've also got a random LFO. It gives some, really dynamic phasing sound. And I only had to really go between 0 and 50% of the intensity. It's not because it is quite a strong effect. So I used the overdrive to give some extra intensity and compression. And what works wonders is the Absynth Aetherizer. So I'll put that as an insert here. Get some really good diffusion on the sound here. We can scatter it around a bit more. Got some random transposition. And I also pitched it up a bit, just slightly. But basically it just really clouds the sound a lot. So I also turned down the dry amount, as you can see. And lastly the EQ, just to add an extra bit of ringing. Just a simple boost at 13.5 dB boost at 3.4K. In some sense, this is creating the idle sound you hear at airports, and it can also factor into, you know, a plane flying overhead in the distance. And you just simply apply a low pass filter or, you know, an extra few overtones for the engine sound, and you have, you know, a completely different scenario. The Aetherizer is really great though for flexibility, so you can really experiment with that. Turn the random amount down, and you can give a flyover effect by pitching the noise. Transposing it up or down gives the impact of it moving forward or away. To give an outline of the theory behind this, there was something cool I read by Andy Funnell in his book Designing Sound, where he writes on turbulence: as cool air mixes with hot exhaust, it forms a quasi-periodic series of conical shock waves that emit from the exhaust. This strongly modulates the signal into a banded spectrum. And by quasi-periodic, it really just means sort of semi-regularly. I mean, it's somewhat random and it's somewhat predictable. I really look forward to the next time I'm at an airport, and hopefully I can get some recording done. And yeah, that's the first part of this video. In the next video we'll look at the propeller sound. So yeah, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you next time.